The scary thing about having control topside is it feels like SKT have done it just to make up for the fact that their turret was taken already. 2 picked up by Griffin before that 20-minute mark. And yes, there was a charge from Shelly. That was why they put all that vision in there. She wasn't able to take down that top outer turret. Continue. And they're just continuing to struggle. And this lead is only growing bigger. 8,000 is what it's ticked to already. As yes, they've got a lot of damage and a lot of power and a lot of power picks here in this draft with the Olaf and especially the Cassiopeia. This is nerfed Aurelia, a different one is cleared now, potentially caught out of position. Faker trying to help him. Tarzan in there with his GA.
Two-level
target
lead.
They want to go for.
2-level lead for the Nocturne. And remember, jungle experience is down about 25 to 30% on this patch. So coming back without actually getting some skirmishes going, going to be tricky for the Olaf. Just pings level 10, so keeping it a bit more manageable. But already, seems like you want to shirk skirmishes as Olaf versus Nocturne. That already, just on paper, sounds real bad. The Jace is grouping, like we mentioned. Galio is picking up minions in the bot lane. Victor's gone for a supremely defensive build. I don't know if I agree with going full Zhonya's. Yes, it means that Nocturne and Galio are less likely to roam to your lane, but you don't have mana sustain here. You have an E upgrade and really not much else. So this is kind of a team fighting Victor build, and right now, actually simulating a team fight when Aurelia is much more interested in hitting the side lane is going to be tricky to do.
Yeah, I feel like no one wants to simulate a team fight against Griffin. As far as those simulations are concerned, the ones that you win, that number would not be high. I wonder whether anyone can actually make a program of the Griffin team fight probability, because I imagine it would be pretty hard to have a positive win rate against it. Lahen's coming on down to check some vision. Good dodge there from Clid. Uses the Predator to get himself out of the way.
And you see why Griffin are the team who say, yeah, we're not interested in banning Cassiopeia on the red side. So much of the value is in the flex, and right now we're just not convinced in 2 games of Teddy away from what has been SKT's most reliable weapon. They've been so good at playing around Ezreal and these other carries in the bot lane. Now he's on the Cassio, which is a bit different, and even if he's put in 50 games, let's say, which is a lot to put in terms of practice, has he put in 500 games? No, it's just not viable, given the champion is, you know, a month and a half in terms of the bot lane in stature, and you just feel like things aren't as strong. They could never get that all in. The Miasma into had got pulverized. The bot lane was ruled by the 2 points in W on the Lucian very, very early. And the shoe on the other foot is just not suiting SKT. We think of Teddy as one of those ruler last bastions of AD carry, and Viper as the Cassio player. And now they're changing skins a bit, but you really are noticing some of the differences.
They're swapping clothes, and Viper looks way better in Teddy's clothes by the looks of things. Tarzan happy to invade, and when you're a Nocturne, free 20 minutes, happy just to stand around in your opponent's jungle, you know that it's a pretty scary game for your opposition as Viper throws out the culling, just to try and soften up the minion wave and the members of SKT that are hanging around the area, and buy space for Tarzan just to ruin Clid's experience in the jungle.
SKT from behind are still able to get some map control somewhere important. Now they're sitting 20 minutes. Baron will be an objective that they are looking to repel. Baron speed decent from Griffin, so something for them to think about. Gonna watch the lane assignment here. TP up on sword, so he's gonna go bot lane. Then you bring in Galio, and you'd love to group as a 4 with the Galio because he's one of the best people around face checks. Whenever there's a Baron vision mission, whether it's your person going up too far and the hero's entrance to bail them out, or just you put down some wards and sweeping and channel your taunt and zone control, Galio top side is definitely the lane assignment you want. That starts now, and SKT keeping Baron control will be very tricky.
Yes. At least it is there for the moment. Tarzan going to spend his time getting this double Mountain Drake, meaning that that next Baron that you're talking about is going to be something extraordinarily difficult for SKT to contend with, because already they've got a lot of damage out of this squad. It's only going to get worse as Khan takes that one to the face. The Shock Blast really starting to hurt. Ghostblade complete. Another serrated Dirk there on top of it. And SKT desperately wanting to try and get Teddy this blue buff, Winds of War, might actually steal it, and it does. Just a tick of it as well. It's just adding insult to injury as Griffin.
You're going to zoom out to appreciate moves like this, right? The blue contested Jason then. Here's the fight attempt.
Yeah, they're going to go for it as the Ragnarok is going to save Clid for the moment. But Griffin, this is what they've done. They just used a zoning engage out of a Nocturne to take down an inner turret, secure the outer one also. And these shock blasts are hitting the mark, meaning that SKT need to be scared about staying around, have to go back to the fountain, and Griffin say Baron.
At 21 minutes, the only camp they control is their damn Wolf camp. There's 2 control wards on it just to get control of a Wolf camp.
Yeah, and Double Mountain Drake is in here. Just to talk about SKT's vision, they do know that this is going on, but what can they damn well do about it?
Well, it's now whenever you feel like, but Faker's walking up. He's the only one. Baron around 3,000.
Teddy doesn't have a lot of mana here either, as they are going to go in there. It will be a 50-50 for Clid. The knock-up comes down, though, and, yep, they're just going to peel away. Sword grabs the Olaf. Okay, Teddy's found one pick on the backline, and Tarzan, relegated to the pit, does get the Baron buff, and now Viper is looking to bounce around this one. Zonya's used by Teddy. Chovy very, very low. It's a double kill coming in now, though, and Griffin do tidy up the messy fight.
Griffin played with fire there with the Baron leashed for the longest time. Someone goes down, but it's Sword, Chovy, having to flash over the wall. Now 99 KDA. Watch the replay here. They are not going to 50-50 Baron. One of the few ways they could lose what has been a great game for them. But you notice that because they tank Baron for so long, they have squishies on this lineup. It's not Sion in the front line. So Jace goes down. They have to be creative to keep it up. Smite enough. Pick up the kill. Olaf dead. So, of course, no counter smite coming from SKT. It's a tricky thing to pull off when you Baron this early, where base damage is still relevant. But Griffin largely stick the landing and get out of the fight.
Yeah, they're going to be out okay. As Chovy, like you say, 9 kill participation for this game. Very close to getting his Zonyas, making it even more difficult for him to die. And Sword does have that Dust Blade of Drakthar. This game is just getting more and more difficult, but the pace, because Griffin have a different composition, because this comp wants to get started around the mid-game, this game is way more bloody. We still hadn't had a kill in game number 1, and I feel like it is just a standard Griffin victory where they dictate the pace and you play to the beat of their drum.
And just a standard Lehens game of queuing up for the support role and buying redemption. Doesn't matter what champion he plays, he always buys redemption. While that gets comical when it's, you know, some of the picks like Elise, for example.
I mean, he was the one that died and ruined the perfect series, so maybe he wants some redemption.
But if you're always playing 4-dimensional chess where you feel like where you go, you're going to win out, why not have redemption there as well? Why not have a semi-global from the support role at kind of all moments? And we see redemptions more in Griffin games than any other games for sure. Someone's always got one. That's someone in this game.
Support. Okay, just going to use the stopwatch as Hero's entrance does come down. Marta with the Unbreakable Will, but Base Gate is going to save him for the moment. Not going to fall down just yet, but big buttons on cooldown for Griffin.
Anything you can force with how far behind SKT is a mini victory. They're behind 14,000 gold. So even just getting a big teamfight ult is actually probably a bigger win than they should, given how far behind they are. So good move there from SKT. It's not going to change the threat that comes in. Jace at the top, 2 members in the bot lane. The turret HP bar is begging.
Yeah,
Faker's already half health. I don't know if he can really contend with the all-in onto Jace that we were kind of previewing or table setting earlier.
Yeah, it doesn't quite have the ignite. Back up off cooldown as Chovy cleans out minions. Better than a Hoover. Thankfully, Teddy does have some wave clear of his own, so the Cassiopeia going to be respected. No one's going to be diving at this point in time just yet. Griffin continue the push. 30 seconds left of this Baron, and they want to be able to break open the base, but thankfully, SKT do have a lot of clear. Faker on the top side, a Demolish proc should be enough to actually get rid of this, and it is, as Chovy gets rid of the top inhibitor turret, and all of them falling at once. Tarzan going to be the next one to take down a turret. This inhibitor going to go down as well, most likely, as Faker's doing his best to try and hold onto it, but Griffin are just putting pressure on absolutely everywhere.